Hey Teachable Tribe, Morgan here, and today I've got two very exciting guests. We've got double change makers this week. We've got Abagail and Emylee from Think Creative Collective. Do you guys want to introduce yourself and your business?
Hey!
Absolutely. Well, I'm Abagail, one half of Think Creative Collective, and we teach small business owners online how to up-level their productivity and get all of their stuff organized, and so they can grow their businesses online. And Emylee is my beautiful business partner. She can introduce yourself.
Hey, yes, it's Emylee. I'm the other half, and we like hanging out with creative entrepreneurs online and teaching big aha moments in their business to make it run more smoothly.
Very cool. And this is kind of a two-part question because I'm definitely interested in both. First of all, why did you decide to start a business online, and how did you come together and decide to do it as a partnership?
Well, I'll share why we came together or how we came together, and Abagail can touch on why we love doing it online. We met in a Facebook group and decided to just hop on a call and loved each other and were speaking to the same people and decided at the end of the day to work together instead of be each other's competitors, because we were talking to the same people, we loved the same people, and we had the same goals. And so in a few short months, we did what every normal human being does and decided to go into a business partnership, and then completely reworked and overhauled our entire business in less than a year. And then Abagail can share why we do that online.
Yeah, so I think why we do it online is kind of an accident, to be totally honest. We both previously ran businesses that had an online component, but it was definitely more of the side. We ran local-based businesses that served local audiences, and we really decided to find our voice in the blogging world, and we started writing first. That was before we even necessarily knew that we were going to shift to this online model, but we noticed we were getting an audience and we were getting people listening to us and growing that list of people, not only an email list, but a social following and consistent blog traffic. And it just made sense over time to shift who we were selling to, because there was more potential people to sell to in the online world than there was in our local based businesses. So we shifted our business model from a service-based local business type to selling online courses so we could sell to anyone, anywhere. And it was probably the scariest and best decision we ever made in our business. And it was definitely one of a leap of faith, because we didn't know if it was going to work. We didn't know if we had enough of an audience or the right people, or if we had people who would buy. It was a little bit of a gamble, but we took it, and we're so glad we did.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing. So with your guys' business, I found you guys originally on Pinterest, a long time ago, and it seems like you came out of nowhere. I've seen your pins all the time, and clicking on your pins, that led me to your site. It's full of content, and you guys publish all the time, more than any other blogger I follow. How do you maintain that posting schedule?
Well, it's funny because it's shifted from posting 5 days a week religiously for about 9 or 10 months, and then shifting to 4 days, 3 days, and then ultimately taking a blogging hiatus and repurposing all of our old content so we weren't writing anything new for 2 or 3 months. Which was an excellent decision, because we were on the brink of burnout. We were about to just be done with blogging in general, because it does take a lot of work. But we also saw the return, and we knew that it was a huge foundation builder for our business. And so we got back to blogging, started writing again. But I think one of the best decisions that we made, especially when we were opening up more programs and growing our audience, was taking on guest contributors. And so we had people coming on, 2 people coming on a monthly basis, and then a handful of other entrepreneurs just contributing when they have content. And that has helped take off a huge load of our schedule, but it's also opened up the variety of topics that we can add to our audience, because we are not the expert in everything. We will openly admit that, nor do we want to be. And so we have other people on who just know stuff that we don't, and who speak in a different way, and who share their story in a different way. And that has helped us truly write what we want to write, and helps us be happy about it and create really valuable posts all the time.
And I think the thing that's a little bit of a caveat to that is, yes, this is working now, but I don't think we could have gotten to this point or necessarily had people interested in writing for our blog if we hadn't spent those 10 months growing our traffic, seeing results, because now people want to be contributing. They want a piece of that pie. Whereas if we had opened it from the beginning, I don't necessarily think they would have seen the value. But we wrote 5 days a week super consistently, and it was just mostly about dedication and determination to prove everyone else wrong. Like, they said, well, you can't write that much, or you don't have enough quality content. I was like, heck yes I do. Like, what are you talking about? And then obviously it made it so much easier when Emylee started guest contributing before we decided to be business partners, and that was kind of like a trial run for our audience. Like, can we add another voice to it, and will it confuse people? Will it make them excited? And everyone loved Emylee, and it just grew from there. And now it's our people. And I think it's a mesh of some people from the beginning and a bunch of new people. But that was because we tried that swap, I guess, of knowledge. And she was writing 2 days a week, and then we flip-flopped, and it was 3 and then 2, and we switch. So that way we didn't have to write tons of stuff ourselves, because doing it 5 days a week, one person, is a lot of work.
Yeah, no, I'm sure that would be just way too insane of a workload to do 5 days a week for indefinitely. And like, you guys as a partnership, like, what are your guys' individual strengths, and how do you kind of play off each other for your business?
Well, I definitely think we balance each other out. That's for sure. There are very clear qualities that I think everyone can see in us. There are not a ton that are very so cut and dry as designing for Abagail and photography for myself. Other than those two tasks, we both have a hand in every single thing that goes out the door. At the beginning, we were proofreading each other's blog posts or content or opt-ins or outlines or whatever. We would each give a say on especially course creation for our audience, because it's something both of our names were attached to. At this point, we've kind of just fallen into roles of me writing a lot of content, Abagail still designing, putting the final organizational tweaks to things, setting up a lot of the systems, because that's what she's really good at. I think we've really lucked out and fallen into those roles naturally and been able to see that in each other, and don't feel ourselves being forced into a box of doing something that we're not good at.
Yeah, I think it was just acknowledging who was better. Well, and not that anyone's better, but like, there's some things that Emylee is just faster at. Like, she can set up a webinar in 15 minutes. If you ask me to do it, not that I can't do it, but it would take me a lot longer. A, because I haven't done it before from start to finish, and B, just because I'm out of practice. Like, so why go through this struggle of doing something that's going to take me so much longer, when if she does it, it's just going to get done quickly and efficiently, and vice versa. There's some things that Emylee just won't touch, and that's fine. And I don't think it was ever an explicit, like, who's going to take on what role kind of conversation. Not that some people don't need to have that conversation. Some people, I think they need that. But Emylee is in my head. Literally, she can read my mind 99% of the time. So I don't have to do a lot of verbal communication with her. It just transient through the airwaves.
Yeah.
And what she doesn't understand through my head, we do obviously have meetings and communicate things and talk about it, but it's a lot of delegation and communication, and I think Trello is what holds it all together. So we keep track of who's doing what and when, and we can communicate really quickly and easily through a project management system.
That's awesome. That kind of leads me to what my next question was, if you had any like tools you use to organize collaborative efforts. Is there anything else besides Trello?
No, Trello, I mean, yes, there are lots of tools and resources that we use, but literally Trello has been such a game changer for our business. It's been able for us as a partnership to be able to see what the other person is working on almost every minute or hour of the day. So we don't have to be like, okay, what are you doing right now? Because we used to, and it felt a little like what are you doing right now? Are you doing anything? When we were literally just checking in with the other person. But now we can see that all laid out inside Trello. We can brainstorm better in there. We can plan for the future better, but we can also have team members in there and step in, and they can take over their role, and we can see exactly where they are at every step of the process as well. So tremendously, it has been the biggest game changer to our productivity, growing our team, and just being able to get more stuff done.
And it led us to create our most popular course ever, which is about using this program. So TrelloForBusiness.com was specifically developed to help other people get their whole systems organized and creating a plan that's really implementable. Is that a word?
You just made it one. It's fine.
And for the other things, there is a lot of systems we use to automate that aren't necessarily things we touch all of the time. They're just working in a very consistent manner without us having to touch them. And we outline most of those in one of our brand new free courses, which is really cool. YourBizOnAutopilot.com. We walk you through all of our favorite hacks and tips and tricks for systems that we use every day in our business, a lot of which have no touch. So we just put them to work once and they go to work for us, or maybe our BA handles some of it. And we walk you through all of those. So that's
our biggest thing at the end of the day is, even outside of Trello, is if you can find a way to automate something and everything in your business, try to find those tiny details so you're not being there every second of the day. You may save 30 seconds a day or 2 minutes a day, but that adds up if you're doing 5 or 10 of those tasks every single day. And so that's especially what Your Biz on Autopilot is it finds those holes and creates the systems for you.
That's awesome. So for you guys, what did that course creation process look like?
Well, I think it really depends on which course you're talking about, because I think in the beginning, it was a lot more convoluted, drawn out, and confusing. But I think we've created enough courses at this point that it's a pretty succinct process. We can go from idea to selling in a little less than 30 days. We could definitely fast forward that and probably even get it out in 2 weeks. That would be stressful, and a lot of things would have to happen.
We've done it.
We've done it. It's possible. I don't suggest it for the normal human being out there. But it's all about creating an outline, and we have a very specific process we go through that utilizes Trello, honestly, to its best ability, where we can outline every single task that's required to finish creating that course. And then we talk through the outline and what we want the course to look like, what content we want to cover. We outline slides. I create slides. Emylee will take photographs for the sales page. She'll write the sales page. We've definitely delegated tasks in a very succinct way, and we know where our roles are. And then setting due dates for everything is so crucially important to getting it accomplished. And I actually just finished writing a blog post about this specific thing, so happy to provide a link to that if you would like.
Yeah, because I think after making a handful and seeing, okay, what are the same things that we're doing every time, especially once we moved to Teachable, we were able to create the process of these are the same steps that happen every single time, no matter what we're making, a free course, a paid course, no matter what the type of lessons were, it didn't matter. And so we copy that process over for every single course that we're creating. There might be new steps of the process depending on what we're making or adding for it. But if we're following that same framework every time, that's what helps us get it out faster.
Yeah, I think the initial process, I literally just looked at it. It's like 36 initial tasks that we outline and set dates for. And then there's definitely things that come into play after that. But those initial 36 things all have to happen on a very strict schedule to make it all come together.
That's awesome. It's cool that you guys got it down to such a science.
We have to. We create a lot of content, and so that's what helps us. But I think the biggest thing for us is having that process really prevents us from, when we're relaxing with our family, when we're trying to sleep, when we're away on the weekend, all of a sudden thinking, did I forget one step of the process? Is the person going to get this, email or this confirmation or this download or whatever. And so making sure we have that process really helps us not worry about that stuff once it's done, because we trust in the system and we trust in the process for it to take care of those things.
Very cool. I don't want to eat up too much of your time, but I guess my next question is, do you have any big plans for the future? Any projects you're working on?
Well, duh! Yes, we do. We have several awesome courses launching in 2017. Our first course that's coming out of the gate is your follow-through method, and it's all about goal setting and implementation and really getting those goals accomplished, so they're not just something you hope you do someday, but something you can say, I did it and I accomplished it and here's how I got it done. And then Emylee, what other awesome courses do we have launching this year?
Well, we also have a course all about blogging. Blogging with Intention is coming out later in 2017, all about the processes and the workflows of that. So you can be a content creation machine like we were without like going crazy. We also just launched our new podcast, the Strategy Hour podcast. We're very, very excited about that. Everyone can go subscribe to it right now to hear about new episodes that are coming. We have an entire new experience over on our website coming out in a couple weeks, thinkcreativecollective.com. It's the dashboard of all dashboards. It's like binging for creative entrepreneurs. You're going to have an all new way to find content a lot easier, and related content, whether it's a video, a download, or a blog post, all kind of lumped into one. We're really super excited about providing that new experience for people. Your Biz on Autopilot is out. We have a lot of things.
That's so exciting. Oh my gosh, 2017 is going to be such a great year.
I'm pumped. It's going to be amazing. So.
For you guys, that sounds just incredible.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Before I let you guys go, do you have a piece of advice for other people who might want to become online entrepreneurs?
Ooh, I think we'll both give our own chunk, but my piece of advice is don't think that your goals are out of reach. So I used to go about life thinking these things I wanted to accomplish were just things that would never happen in my lifetime, that they weren't actually possible, that, you know, this only happened to other people. And now I just have a completely different mindset about life. I can reach those financial milestones. If I want to write a book, I can write a book. If I want to launch a course, I can launch a course. If I want to run $1 million business, like, it's going to happen. It's just a matter of when. Mm-hmm. And so I think we talk ourselves into this hole of we are only capable of so much, but you have so much more potential than you let yourself believe. And I just want to give you, like, as much as I can, a big group hug and say, you can do this. So whatever your dreams are, just map them out and strive towards them, and they will happen eventually. So.
Yeah. And my piece to that is just do it. You cannot reach those goals and those dreams until you just start putting stuff out there. The first program we made, the first course I sold, I hadn't even created before I sold it. We hosted webinars when we didn't know what we were doing. We started a membership site when we didn't know what we were doing. We learn something, we turn around and teach it. There's something that you know that you can put out there, whether it's a course or a blog post or a mastermind or whatever, just do it. You will learn so much by putting it out there that you can tweak that process and make it better and better and better, and just keep doing that thing.
That's amazing. You guys are a motivational speaker.
Well, that was on my bucket list of to-dos when I was on the list. I was like, I want to be a motivational speaker someday, so check.
You're natural. All right, well, you can wrap the interview there. Thank you guys so much. This was a lot of fun.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Oh, of course.